Good day everyone, welcome to my channel once again. CSS simply means cascading style sheet. It basically defines styles for your web pages, including the design, the layout, the variation in display for different devices and screen sizes. So we have the external style sheets, the inline style sheets, and the internal style sheets. So we have the inline style sheet, where we declare our style as an attribute in an HTML element, well, in the opening tag of our HTML element. Then we have the internal style sheet, where we declare the style as an element in the head tag. And lastly, we have the external style sheet, which we've seen before, where we declare our selector, the properties, and our values. So I've already made a div element. Remember, this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. This div element has a class called common. It could be anything, you could name the class anything, but I chose common. So remember, since this is an HTML page, everything beside an element are called attributes. So here we have the class attribute. So the class attribute specifies one or more class names of an HTML element. Take note. So the class basically is just for JavaScript, where you can call those classes, or the CSS, where you can call those classes. So here we have another div element, but instead of class we have ID attribute, which also has a name. I named it unique because it is unique. So now moving on to the CSS. So yeah, I've already created the style attributes. So remember, these are called attributes, but in this CSS file they are called selectors. So let's look at the syntax of CSS. So you have the selector. Remember, we open a curly bracket whenever we want to write any CSS properties. So we have properties and we have value. So properties we have color, and value we have blue. So there are different types of properties and different types of value. So here we have a property called height. We're saying this, the height of common should be 300 pixels, while the width of common should be 500 pixels. The background color should be accurate. So remember, or take note, using a class attribute, you have to start with a full stop, a period sign, before you write the class name. For an ID, you have to start with an hashtag before you introduce the name. So basically, an ID element, rather an ID selector, uses the ID attributes of an HTML element to select a specified element. Take note, it is unique, it can't be used multiple times. Now I have two div elements, this which has nothing inside and this which has a p tag saying hello. Both of them has common as their class attributes, sharing the same CSS selector and properties. Moving on, we'll be looking at borders. So each div element has borders, or anything basically that is a container in your HTML documents as a border. So let's target common border. So we say, okay, dot common, which is how you access your class attributes from the HTML page. So we say border one pixel solid black. The 1 pixel is talking about the width, then the solid is talking about the style, then this is talking about the color. We could also change this dashed, then make this ta-da. Now let's look at a very important step in CSS. We have the CSS margin and padding. So margin basically is a property that is used to create space around elements outside of any defined border. If you take notes, you see spaces here. So we could target the top, the right, the bottom, the left. Top, right, bottom, left. Or rather, we could use these shortcuts. This would be the top, this would be the right, this would be the bottom, and this would be the left. So now let's look at padding. So the padding also we have the top, right, bottom, left. We could see it like this. Top, right, bottom, left. So that will be all for CSS. This is the basics of CSS. So I'll be leaving in the description below links for references for you to learn more, and channels where you could also learn more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.